Hey, what up, what up? I go by the name Sarkodie, Sarkodie, a bit of a porn biddy. You know what time it is. You're watching The Journey with Nayoka. Stay tuned. My men come my dream. A bit of a porn biddy. Yeah. Yeah. 2014, the semi shine. That's what I'm focused on. That's the fear. I don't want to mess that up.
Everything you talked about was real. That was
everything
your
was true.
experience.
Yes, everything was true. Every single word was true. I'm sharing this with you today because I normally don't tell people if I'm disappointed in things like an award or something. This is not normal. Like this happening here. If Granny was back home, I need to go back and tell her what happened. I had an interview with this girl, and I like this interview because you're taking questions from different corners. So this is the story.
Hey beautiful people, so we are in one of the most vibrant parts of East London. Yes, it is Shoreditch, but that cannot be compared to the reception this next guest gets when he bounces from state to state and from country to country. Who are we welcoming on the journey today? It is none other than Obidin Pombidi. Sarkodie. Did I say your name correctly? The Obidin Pombidi.
Yeah.
I know people find it difficult to wrap that around their tongue.
Well. You're from Ghana, so I know you can relate.
I sure can. So how are you doing? How
I'm good. I'm good. I'm super good. You know, it's all work. And I just came back from a huge concert back in DC. It was crazy.
I can imagine.
That was a very, very good concert.
What was the reception like?
I think Afrobeat is actually having that dominance in the world as of now. So when you do any show with Afrobeat artists, like it was me, you had Ifia, Ice Prince, you can't go wrong. So you had like the whole of Africa in the building.
Incredible.
And a couple of new Afrobeat music lovers who wanted to see what Afrobeat was about. Wow. So they were wowed with the whole performances and then the energy from the crowd. It was really, really a good show.
You know what? Good, I'm glad to hear that everything went well.
Yes.
Now, everybody and their grandmother is talking about the 11th of March. Even my mum was like, do you know that Sarkodie is in London? And I was like, why do you know that Sarkodie is in London? That's the real question. So since you've left the sunshine in Ghana to come here to cold London to kind of cater to your fans, what can we expect from you on the 11th?
So this year actually held back, taking too much concerts because I didn't want to really exhaust myself and make sure that I put up a very good concert this year. And I chose London because where else? If you move from Ghana, I think the next place, if you really want to have the type of crowd that you want, I think it's London to me. I give it up to London. The last time I came here was epic, and I want to do way more than that. The States has had their share. New York had it last year. That was a big concert at the Apollo, which was like a sold-out concert.
I know, incredible.
Yeah, it was very good. So this year, exactly what I'm doing is I'm saving all the energy and make sure that London has the same or even more of what everyone is having. Ghana had theirs with the Rapaholic concert, which was on December, and this year we're doing UK. And when it's Sarkodie in UK, it's always a turn up. Like you can never go wrong. So I'm actually counting down from today till the 11th, and I can't wait. I wish it was tomorrow.
People are going to be like falling out the door. It's going to be jam packed. I know this already.
I can see that happening.
People are talking about it all over London.
Yeah.
So will you be performing a lot of tracks from the Mary album, or will you be performing timeless hits like Adonai and Illuminati?
Oh, I love that timeless hits. She said timeless hits.
They are timeless.
God
you must
bless
admit. They are.
Yeah, but if you have a Sarkodie concert, that's the best part about it, because I like to perform. So even if it's not a Sarkodie concert, it's like a multi-act concert and I'm on bill, I make sure I go in. So imagine when it's fully Sarkodie concert, which has always been what I wanted, because I put out loads of music and it makes sense to have like a whole Sarkodie focused concert, and that's when I go in. So I'm going to go through the Sarkodie roller coaster from where I started to today. The music that, if you're like an old fan, you're going to have music that you used to listen to way back to today, and then new fans as well, of course. Adonai is pretty new, so probably people who know Sarkodie through Adonai are also going to enjoy it. So it's going to be like a whole collection of Sarkodie music. I'm going to go every album, starting from My Chair, which had Baby, Boga, Push.
I learned the lyrics to Baby. I'm not going to do that now, there's really no need, but I learned the lyrics.
The lyrics to the hook, right? Not the rap.
I learned some of the lyrics of your rap.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to do it now. Maybe off camera, so I don't make a fool of myself.
You can have that session, you can do it for the people.
Oh, definitely. Maybe.
Yeah, so music from that album. Next one, I think we did Rapaholic, which had Rapaholic had hits like When I Miss You, featuring Castro. Yeah, a couple of hit records from that time. Actually, mostly I mix these two albums, Rapaholic and Psychology. It sounds kind of similar. So, but most of the songs are on those albums. You know, Adonai is on Rapaholic. All the songs, like on all the albums. Probably some new records as well, just to introduce to the people. And I have surprising acts who are going to come on, you know, which I'm not announcing that. You know, that's going to be part of the package. So make sure that if you got your ticket, and if you don't have it yet, you need to get your ticket, because it's going down 11th of March. Sarkodie, Sarkcess music in the building is going to be epic.
Like last year, you had at the Dominion Centre, you had John DeMello come on stage, and you had Adebayo come on stage, and that was loads of fun.
Even that was a surprise for me.
I knew it.
I had a surprise for you guys, which I knew Fuse was going to come. You guys didn't know. I knew Q-Beat was there. The rest, I was even surprised they came. Adebayo was there. Like, yeah, no, I love it. I love it when the Ghanaians support, you know, what we're doing, because I don't think they came purposely for the show. They were actually around it. Some actually flew in, you know, from wherever they were, just to support. Same thing happened at the Apollo. You know, John DeMello came. Yo, big ups to John. He always supports. And this one actually got calls that I don't think I'm going to let out that information now. Yeah, I'm going to tell you. And some guys who are going to come through. It's going to be really good. Like,
I can imagine.
And you have to be part of it. One good reason is what I did at the Apollo. I actually shot a video with the footages of the performance and then the crowd, and a song called Sack Nation, thanking the fans for being there for me. And I'm going to repeat that with this show and shoot the next video with the footage of the performances. So if you're there, you probably might be in the next Sarkodie video. So it's a must. You have to be there.
That is history.
Yes, you're going to make history.
Did you ever envision that this would be your life? Performing at a sold-out concert in the Apollo Theatre, a woman tattooing your name to her body, having the Sark dance, people chanting your name. It's all crazy, I know. When you think about it, it's like, really? Is this my life now? Did you ever dream this big?
Not that specific. You know, you were being specific on the things that's happening. It was never like that. But I knew I was destined for greatness. I knew the sky was my limit. I'm that type of person. I believe in myself so much. I know that I will never be settled with the current situation. I would like to push for more. So, but specifically, I was not too sure if it was going to be somebody tattooing my name on their whatever, you know. But it was more of, I knew I was going to succeed. To an extent I was going to go, that's up to God. You know, He shows the way, and then He paved the way for whoever. So I left that for the Almighty. But then I believed that I was going to be successful. You know, I had no doubts.
Good. And that faith has led you here, basically.
And I keep saying to people, I was never frustrated. You know, I was not that type of artist. I was so calm when I was underground. I just love the fact that, you know, have you seen my guy right here? His name is Angel. You know how I met him?
How?
He actually saw me on the street, and he called me. And he's like, "Oh, I heard you're a rapper." I said, "Yes." "Oh, can you rap?" He didn't even end by ending, "Can you rap?" I just had to go in. Like, I'm ready for anybody. I just want to spit some bars. That was me. So I was not looking at coming out the next day, coming out the next month. I just wanted to rap. But then it turned professional. By the passion, people just gravitated towards you. I was doing crowdsourcing when I was rapping to people. So I was very confident when I was coming out. Didn't give myself time. It's going to be this year, next year, but I probably knew I was going to survive. You know, I had that instinct in me.
If you think about your journey, if you reflect on it, does it make you quite emotional? Do you ever just sit there and think like,
always,
from here to here?
Yes, because my beginning, which recently I started opening up on how I grew up, and it's super emotional. One time, if you have a time to come to Ghana, I can give you the exclusive and take you to where I used to live, and then if you go through that journey from that time till now, you get to understand why it's going to be very hard for me to say I get it. It's always like surprising to you. You know, when you have these tons of people. It was the other way around. You have all the world. Look, you felt like the world didn't really like you in the beginning. That's literally how I felt.
That's surprising. You're really likable.
That's what I'm saying. That at this time, this is what's happening. You know, and then as you're saying, it gets emotional every time. And when I have the shades on, it helps, because when I get teary, you don't see it. No, I'm not teary now.
No, I can see you right there. So your given name is Michael.
Yes.
So where does the name Sarkodie derive from? Yeah.
Sarkodie, the story for the Sarkodie name is a funny one. I've been saying this like, okay.
Yeah,
so
it to me.
Yeah, I know. So Sarkodie, I loved the name when I was growing up. My dad had friends, like 2 friends, all with the name Sarkodie, and each and everyone was wealthy, everyone was rich. And outside, I met a couple of Sarkodies elsewhere, and they were all kind of rich. I was like, is it like coincidental, or like that the name has an effect, you know, on your life? So I believe that it stood for wealth, you know, and of course I want to be wealthy as well. So I just took the name, and then it kind of worked. Yeah. But it's a surname, which is weird, because people thought it's like Michael Owusu. Owusu is a surname, Sarkodie is a surname, and I'm actually You know, anybody who's Sarkodie is now a family now, like it's a family member.
I
now,
might need to change my name. Become related, yeah.
Yeah, so the story is just short. I just thought it had a good effect on all those people I saw, you know, bearing that name. So I took it for myself too.
When you talk about your hardships, like a few minutes ago,
yes.
you mentioned like where you grew up and everything. It reminds me of Mile 7. Take me back to your track Mile 7. And a lyric, in one of the lyrics you state that, you know, times may become so hard that you wanted to take something called Coco Nkate. Don't know the pronunciation. One, I don't know what
Akate.
it is. Akate.
Yeah, Akate.
What is it?
I think it's a chemical they use for the cocoa plants. I think they kill, like an insecticide or something.
Really?
Or pesticide, I don't know. Pesticide, right? Yeah, that they use. It's like, and it's poison for the human being. It's not good. So like you literally, it's just like you want to kill yourself, like basically.
Is that how you felt at one point of your in your life?
I not necessarily wanted to kill myself, but I did not see the purpose of me being here, you know, because I don't see the way out of being happy. Like for me to be here today, you know, just smiling and having thousands of people troop to your concerts and people always complimenting you, like people saying, I love you, you're good and this. I was far from that, you know, so it was really hard to see this, you know, but if I had like given up at that time, I wouldn't see this. So yeah, basically I was really in a dark place. So when you're in a dark place, those are the thoughts that you're likely, you know, of having.
But you're out of that dark place now.
Yes, I'm out of it, and I thank God. It's not everybody that gets out of it, because
very
I
true.
can relate now, and I can tell you tons of kids are in Ghana who are going through the same thing, but we don't even get a chance to see them or you know, hear their stories. And I know it's still happening because I was there. Like the place I was living, I know people just pass by without knowing that I was even there, you know, and nobody knows what's going on in the room you're staying. Like it's just loads of stories. Even here, I'm not going to say Ghana. There are probably people here who want to take their lives because, you know, they're going through.
But you know, I think through your story, you've inspired a lot of people.
Yes.
And they look at you and they think, well, look where he came from.
Yes.
I can definitely do this,
Yes.
whatever field they choose to go into,
Yes.
basically.
Yes.
Now, in the music industry, I've realised that there's a very prominent African-American influence, like the themes in the videos, the concepts, the finger signs, the dances and everything like that. But you've become successful out of predominantly doing African music, like you speak your mother tongue.
Yes.
Do you think that this is the direction that Afrobeat should go in? Speaking your mother tongue and
using the local dialect.
Exactly.
Not necessarily. If you can really express the emotions through any language, you know, but it's still Afrobeat. It's like doing reggae. If you can do it in French, it doesn't really change anything. It has to get the soul of the genre you're using. So if it's Afrobeat, you need to get the soul for it. You need to love it for the most part. It's not necessarily the language you're going to use. Language, of course, I wouldn't rule out that when it comes to business, it makes sense because of the percentage of, you know, people that speak the language. You know, you can sell outside, you know, not just local. But then I think emotions actually plays part in music. When you're super emotional about if it comes from a good emotion, like the emotions that you use to rap or use to sing, if it's there, anybody can connect. You know, because when I meet people, when I meet different race, what I get, the vibe I get from them is they say, I like you, Sarkodie, I like you so much. I'm like, so do you even know what I'm talking about? Yes.
But they feel
that's what I'm saying. They connect with it. So it has to be
completely.
more of the emotions that you're using. You know? Yeah.
Okay. After listening intently to your lyrics, I've realised that a lot of your songs are about enemies, or you might have a line in there about enemies, people coming after you and stuff. Is that your reality, or is that intentional to like draw more people to music? Is that how it is for you?
Maybe I'm being paranoid, but it's how I feel. You know, like, and someone actually made a statement to me. Like, I said this and I'll say it again. It's Chame Kwame, a rapper back home, and he said the same thing. We're at an embassy. I think we were going for a visa, and we were waiting. And he's like, "Yo, Sark, but normally you like talking about enemies, but do you know, like 99% of the Ghanaians like love you?" And I thought about it, and it's kind of true. Like, I don't walk around and I don't see hate.
They overshadow all of it.
I don't really see hate. But the thing is, I came from a place where there was no love. So you can't blame me for having that still in me.
Absolutely not.
You know, I need to detox myself more, you know, and get out of that. But I'm still in that. Though I'm Sarkodie now, like I went through that life for ages, like it was for long. So for you to take that scene away from me, it's like
it's difficult.
seeing an accident, which is like so bizarre, like you can't get,
Doesn't leave
yes,
your
it
mind.
doesn't leave your mind.
It stays with you forever.
So,
completely.
but then it sells too, because when I do songs like Chingam, even Adonai, you know,
Love,
I'm talking
of course,
about the hustle and everything. People relate because that's the reality for you. Yeah.
Okay. Now this brings me to your song Illuminati.
Yes.
Now I know you're a big fan of Jay-Z,
Yes.
Rick Stiller, and his song with Rick Ross, actually, Rick Ross's song, The Devil Is a Lie.
Yeah.
There's some lyrics in there, and when I heard it, I thought, you know what, he makes a lot of sense. And then I thought of you, and I thought of Illuminati.
Yes.
So I'm going to read the lyrics. I'm not going
Okay.
to rap them. I'm just going to read them.
Mine or his?
His,
Okay.
because I want you to tell me if you think it's true.
Yeah.
So in the lyrics, he goes, Devil want I'm going to use black people for another. You know the lyrics. Let's just leave that alone. So, devil want these black people hate their own kind. Got to be Illuminati if a black person shines. Or we can't be black if a black person rich. Or we got to be the devil. That's some black people ish. Do you think that's true?
Yeah, it's true.
Completely.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what it is with black people, but as soon as you hit some mark, as soon as you start making money, they're like, oh, he has to be doing something dodgy, this can't be legitimate. And I don't know why we have that instilled in us. Why can't we just support each other? You know what I mean?
It's a bad thing, but then you can, the same thing as when you ask me why I keep on talking about enemies, it's just where you come from. It's just what you're used to. It's super hard for us to come across super successful black people for you to see it as normal.
Right.
You know, it's not our everyday life of seeing somebody succeeding. Like,
unfortunate,
how many black friends do you have who get married every single week, or you see people like,
Not
you know, so
many.
when, no, what I'm, the reality is there's certain things we're not used to.
True.
You know, so when you see it, you kind of like want to question it. Like it's like somebody out of space or like an alien, like a rich man, a rich black guy. That doesn't make sense. You know, so when Jay-Z got that, I actually felt bad because I kind of almost believed in it when we were talking about Jay-Z because I was not out yet. You know, so when I came out and I was the one, and then they threw the same thing at me. Oh, I now understand. So, just because Sarkodie made it to this level, now you think it's Illuminati, you know. And that song actually came because I knew people were saying that, but one thing about me, I don't care until it touches people that I care about.
Okay.
Not necessarily me. It was my little niece who was in school, April Girls, you know, and she came back home, and then she was actually very sad, and she complained about her colleagues believing that I was the devil.
Wow.
And they need to stay away
that
from
far?
listening to my music and all that. You know, that got to me, so that made me write that. You know.
Oh, that's sweet.
Not
You
really
inspired it,
because
right?
of the media or whoever. It's just more of like somebody I
Immediate
love.
family,
Yeah.
close people around you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know the media tends to blame rappers for people's unhealthy desire for money and wealth.
Yes.
Do you think that videos such as Preach and Shots on Shots kind of encourages people to go into like ritualism, robbery, like makes them want to take that kind of path to become rich?
No.
No.
No. Because I didn't say in the song that you have to do that to get that.
True.
You know, I'm showing wealth, and wealth, there are legitimate ways of acquiring wealth, which is what I do. I do music and I get paid. And I thank God that I've never done anything else like trying to be dodgy to make money, you know, like a fraud type of situation. I've never been that type of person. I make sure my dignity is like really protected, and I work hard. Any coin that comes to Sarkodie is because I work hard. So having that life, for you to see that and go like, okay, I want to kill somebody to get that, that's mostly coming from your home. You know, you have to check yourself. It has nothing to do with my music, because I didn't say that. I didn't tell you to go steal. You know, I'm just telling you that, because of course everybody want to make it, and at the same time I actually have songs that I advise as well.
And that's what
Maybe
people love about you.
they don't really want to listen to it, but I do have most of that. I want to like keep them in check. The recent one is Hand to Mouth, which is like super addressing that. You know, you really have to work hard. So I do have songs that I put them in check. And yeah, so if you can relate with that as well, you can see I'm not trying to tell you to go kill anybody or go through
Of course.
a
I
wrong
think
route.
that's why you're so likable. You have this like intergenerational pull. So like mums love you, aunties and uncles love you, grandmas love you, children love you, and that is rare. It doesn't happen. You know, it's not something that happens often. Now, you talk about God love, and each of your albums include a song about God. Is that your
Yes.
creative decision? Is that something you're really passionate about?
Yeah, that's part of how I feel. You know, I believe in my beginning, I threw a challenge to God to help me at the point in time I wanted to, because the pressure was too much. That's when you really feel like, okay, now people are seeing you, but it has to turn professional. You know, so a year I threw that challenge, and then it actually did happen the same year. You know, and anything I ask for, it might take time, but I always get it, and that is not normal to me.
God is faithful.
Yes, so I believe in him. I've trusted in him. I wouldn't boast of being a super spiritual person, always praying every single morning, but I think my getting to know him is not necessarily how you portray yourself to people to be like you're righteous, you're this. I think it has to do with the heart, because I'm really scared of him, and I fear. The fear is different. I don't want to disappoint. You know, that's the thing. So I think when he sees that, he's definitely going to bless you in many ways. You know, I have flaws as a human being. I'm a Christian, but of course I'm not God himself, and he knows that. He knows we're fighting with the flesh and whatever. But bottom line is, I do believe in him. I give him the props. I see things when I cry. I know he's doing it. I know he's working, and to the point that he made me so strong that when I'm being disappointed, I feel like it's because he didn't want that to happen. And that's so hard. That's why people can go through phases. Like I lost one award. I'm sharing this with you today because I normally don't tell people if I'm disappointed in things like an award or something. But that was the first time I was disappointed, because I thought that's the only time I had, because I thought I was big at that point. I thought that's the biggest I could get. So if I didn't win this award this year, what's going to happen next year to Sarkodie? What can I do? Like, I just released my biggest song. Like,
you gave it your all.
And the next award I got, I think that was a year or two after that, was the BET. That's way beyond the award I was crying over.
So God gave you something better.
You understand?
You just
like,
yeah, I completely understand. Like,
so,
you want something small, and he's like, it's too little for you.
So when I talk about God to my friends, it's like so funny. Like I keep saying, he's probably sitting there just looking at you like, you're just some, you don't have to do what's about to happen, you know. And it's happened to me several times. Like calls that come true that makes me cry. Awards that you win that you don't believe that you won. You see people like what happened in DC, like what's going to happen on the 11th. This is not normal. Like you are not just doing it by your own. Like somebody's actually working something for you, and it's favor. And I thank him for that. So I do believe in God, and it has to reflect in the music. But that's how I feel.
Lovely. You are a very focused, and some might say serious individual.
Yes.
So what do you do to unwind?
I think it's still going to stay in I'm pretty boring, you know.
Really?
What people see to be fun is not fun for me, you know. Like I don't believe in sightseeing. I don't believe in I don't socialize that much, you know. I don't think I actually have something that necessarily unwind, but I think me still doing music and writing and listening is everything for me. That makes me, you know, calm down, you know. That's not like work for me. That's, to me, it's like a getaway. Because vacations don't work for me. My mind is always thinking. I don't let go, which is something I need to try and let go for a minute and just enjoy life. But my enjoying of life is just what I'm doing, which I'm cool with, you know. Because when I take off, that's me not enjoying life, because I'm nervous. Yeah. So I don't really have. It's just still the music. It's just the music. Like this is the setup. This is what I need.
This is exactly what I did it intentionally, because I thought you might
God
be comfortable.
God
and
bless
I
you
like
for this.
my guests to be comfortable. So I want you to feel
I'm
like you're
super
at home.
comfortable.
Kind
Yes.
of. Good. I'm glad. Now, I love the relationship you have with your mum.
Yes.
The majority of people love their mum. Like it, I admire it so much.
Yeah.
And I can tell that she's been a really big influence in your life. Like when I watch your videos, like Wine Pond thing with Banky W, there are girls in the video and they are stunning.
Yeah.
And this happens in most of your videos, like Bounce as well. You might admire them, but you never touch them.
Yeah.
And I watch a lot of other artists and they put their hands on women. But I think that the influence your mum has had on you has made you that way.
That can be
kind
true.
of appreciate
I've not
women
thought
in a
about it,
different
but
way.
that's like, people ask me, but that's a good answer. I think that can be true.
Yeah. And I know your grandma passed away not too long ago. I'm
May her
really
soul
sorry
rest
about
in peace.
Amen to that. My
Auntie Mary, shout out.
Beautiful, beautiful. And the Mary album is timeless. I will say it again.
Thank you.
It is.
What's your favorite?
Incredible. I'm old school, so I would have to say Mary.
Mary, oh.
The live instruments. It just takes me back to Amachi Dede and Ben Braco and all of that. I've got kind of an old soul and I love it.
I wrote that song like ages. That was like, I was not even out. So this is the story. That song and Baby is it's actually one song.
It is?
That's how
you see how my first friend, I'm like, what? Different sounds.
So Baby was actually the verse, and then the Mary hook was the hook, and then the tree verse I started with was also a hook on Baby.
Right.
So when I wrote it, it was part of Baby.
Wow.
But then I took the English out, Baby, the things, and then I made Afrobeat kind of like, and then I featured Mugiz on it. So, but that verse on Mary has always been in my head. I always wanted to do it.
Beautiful.
But I did not want anybody to sing it for me. I wanted to do it myself. So I was just waiting for the day I would have the confidence to sing. You know, and I think it's now I'm more comfortable. Like I don't, you just have to sing it. I just did it, and it was, I was skeptical about it. You know,
why?
but
You have a beautiful voice. I like your
I like to
singing
rap.
voice.
I sing when I'm writing,
Yes.
but I don't record it. You know,
Ah,
because all my hooks,
that's
most of my
interesting.
hooks, I write them and I sing it for you before you come. You know, like Adonai,
Cool.
that was a hook already, and then Kasha just had to sing it.
Beautiful.
You know, but I wouldn't sing it myself.
I think you do a great job singing. Personally, I love it.
I'm not gonna move from there. I want to stay all black out, like just G,
Rap,
straight
gangster,
hard.
yeah.
Hard.
I feel kind of gangster. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so we all love our mothers, as we said.
Yeah,
But you decided to name the album after your grandma, so it kind of shows that she played a major role in your life as well,
yes,
right?
yes.
Did she play a big part in your upbringing?
Yeah, she was there. I used to live with granny. She's like everything. Like I like to talk to her more than my mom, is because her faith in God is like on steroids compared to my mom.
Grandmas are like that though, have you
Yes.
realized?
My mom is super spiritual and she prays a lot, but my grannies, like, you will not be scared talking to my granny. Like, a typical example, if I should come and say, I had a dream to my mom, her reaction is gonna freak me out. Like, what was it about? Like, my granny will go like, oh, it was a dream.
Just leave it.
Yeah, God is protecting us. Who can do whatever, you know? So that's the support that she gave me. Like, I should not even think twice about somebody being able to do anything to me, you know. So when she left, you know, I told my mom, you have to be strong like her. Like, I need that, and she is. You know, now my mom's like my pillar, you know. And Granny was the OG, I call her. And then I normally share stories when I go back to Ghana, like, this happening here. If Granny was back home, I need to go back and tell her what happened. I had an interview with this girl and whatever, you know. So it was really hard for me to get used to the fact that I'll go back to Ghana and she's not there. And yeah, the story, I think I've shared a couple of times, but she died next to me in my car because I was driving her to the hospital. You know, she was just lying like this, and I was just driving, cutting through the traffic, and just, you know, the horns were on. I just couldn't wait. I got there and she's still here, and then she was already gone. You know, so that effect. You know, I couldn't get that picture of, I couldn't cry throughout. You know, I was trying to understand it, you know. Till today I didn't cry. Like,
Is that just not how you deal with it? That's not how you deal with your emotions? That's not how you deal with sadness?
I think showing emotions with me, I think is really, I'm not really good at that. Okay. Especially when it's super real. It took me a long time to write Mile 7 Saga. I should have talked about it like ages ago, but I had the nerve to construct it because I didn't want to like lose what it really stood for. I don't want to, like, just because of rap, it sounds like you're just saying anything else. It has to be very specific.
So everything you talked about was real? That was
everything
your
was true.
experience?
Yes, everything was true. Every single word was true. Yes.
So
with my granny situation, it was really hard for me to soak it in and just accept that she's not there, you know. But then eventually you just, you know, of course she's not at home, you go there, she's not there, so you kind of accept it and go like, yeah, she's gone. But then how to honor her was me thinking about the album, because she wanted me to do it, and I was like, you know, it's your granny. No matter how old or sick she looks, you feel like she's never gonna die.
Of course.
I don't know if you relate with that. Like, everybody's granny. Like, I might see your granny, like maybe she might leave anytime soon, but I don't see mine that way. So when she left, it was like a big blow. I was gonna do the album anyways, but when she left, I'm like, this is the best time for me to do it, and then probably name it after her, you know. And
she's proud of you.
Yeah,
I know she's definitely proud of you, no doubt. Now, you talk about your mother.
Yes.
You talk about your grandma. I know you have siblings as well.
Yes.
You talk about them in your songs, but you've never mentioned your dad or a father figure. Is that intentional? Is that something you like to give yourself?
It's not intentional, and I wouldn't put my dad on blast. My dad is like a very, very super good man, but I'm just having that time to realize who he is now.
Okay.
I don't know if you get me. You know what? When it comes to the women, showing, it's like me. So I wouldn't really blame my dad, because I'm kind of the same. Like, women show affection more.
Oh, definitely.
You know, whilst guys want to hide it. Because if I feel, even when my friend is sick and I want to go like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't say it. I can't even tell my friend I miss you.
You just be like, oh,
yeah,
you'll be fine.
Yeah. So I think that was Dad's approach to all of us. So we didn't really get to see much of him, which you can't blame him, you can blame me as well, because what I was used to, who was actually hugging me every second and singing, was my mom.
My dad is the same. You think it's a Ghanaian man thing, or is it just a man thing?
It's a man thing, but you have to work on it.
Definitely.
You have to work on it, because it doesn't work. It doesn't work for us.
It destroys relationships.
Yes. So we really have to work on that, and it's a lesson for me as well.
I know
But my
you want to have
dad,
a daughter first as well.
yes,
Right?
but my dad is a very good man. Like recently,
Good.
our relationship is really on point, and yeah, I think now we're good. I get to understand him.
I'm glad
you know,
to hear that.
Yes.
I'm glad. What is your greatest fear about being an artist?
Probably staying in all the hard work I've worked for all these years, and staying it with something maybe like the basic thing, some silly thing, or just do something to just destroy all you've worked hard for in just a day. Because I would like to end it well. That's the biggest fear. I want to really close this chapter in a very good way,
Like
a grand
Yeah.
style, like you're crowning the whole thing. Like, I just hope,
I
that's
think you will. I can't see you going down the wrong path. Truthfully, I can't.
no.
Your faith
That's
is one
you,
thing
you
that
can
will keep you
okay.
back.
The wrong path. I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is mistakes. I'm a human.
Oh,
But I
definitely.
just hope that doesn't get to the end. I don't want to skip to
Right.
the end right now. Maybe with something that like a tabloid or something. It has to be Sarkodie finally. The grand closing.
Yeah,
This
he
is
just- this is
So
it,
my
and
fear
focus on
is
business,
I
yeah.
hope I achieve that. And the competition is not now. I think it's mostly how you finish it. That's why I don't compete whilst I'm working. What I'm doing is, if I don't have to release a song in 2 or 5 years, I'm gonna go on pause, because I really want to end my career well.
Okay.
So that's what I'm focused on. That's the fear. I don't want to mess that up.
I completely understand everything you've said, and you've expressed yourself really well. Now, you have remained incredibly humble, like I'm emphasizing on the word incredibly humble. What is your secret? Like, how do you do it?
Because it doesn't change you. It only,
But you're speaking for yourself, right? It changes some people.
it's not supposed to.
Definitely not.
No,
I agree.
I don't think it's
100%.
supposed to. I think your attitude is gonna be magnified when you gain success. It's like when you are an arrogant person, you make more money. I think it's gonna show the real you. So I think the real me, as me being Michael, has always been. It's not necessarily. They term that to be humble, but that's my way of life. Like, I'm not bigger than anybody else. Like, I'm not supposed to be treated differently. That's how I feel. If I come to a barber shop and it's like a queue, I would like to wait. I wouldn't want to cut into it. Like, I'm not that type of person. Even that fame came in not by choice. It was part of it. I had to be famous. But that's something that I wish I could just impact with music and not be famous and still making money.
That is the dream for a lot of people.
Yes.
But this is the way
so
it is,
Nothing has changed about Michael. If anything, I think I'm actually trying, because with artists, people think even, being cocky actually makes you, a brand. That's
But
what
it
they
doesn't
say.
at all.
I just feel like we're just all humans at the end of the day.
That's right.
I don't know who's going to help me tomorrow, and that's why I don't have that ego when I have to record with an underground artist who's not known. I don't really mind if you're good.
You'll
I'm definitely
give
gonna
you
do a
try,
song
yeah?
with you. I'm gonna put a verse on your song, or I'll put you on my song. I'm not too picky with that. I respect life. I think we're all here, and nobody's above anybody, and that's it.
I love that, and I hope that people view things in the same way you do. I think it will make the world a much better place, We'd all get along well. Do you feel as though sometimes you have to compromise your faith in order to make hit songs and get to the top? You do?
Yes.
Yeah?
That's something that artists would not. It's hard. I can talk for myself, and I can even imagine that's the same thing the Jays and the Beyoncés and the Kanyes are all going
It's tough.
through. Because bottom line is what the world is gravitating towards is not what the scriptures are talking about. And it's made it's scary though. For if you're talking about what really has to be said, it sounds boring. And because you put fear in people, it makes them move away from you. So it's a choice you have to make. Do you have to feed your family, or
There you go.
you have to go with what has to happen or you have to stand for yourself and then stand for the rights you believe in or whatever. So it's a decision you have to make, which I admire people that, like, if you take Malcolm X and all those people, they stood for something. They were not looking for money. They stood for something, which
And
I
they lost their
respect
lives
that.
to it as well.
Yes, I respect that. But I'm young. I'm not going to jump into that without feeling that that's what I want to do. But definitely, I have a song you can listen to, we call Devil in Me. It's actually talking about exactly what you just asked me.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can be in the booth and the best lyric that came out at that time that people are going to go like, wow,
Yeah.
it's so bad.
Oh.
And when you take it out and you put something else which is a bit decent,
doesn't sound as good, does it?
Nah, you didn't kill it. Like,
yeah.
Nah. You know, so it's something that we all. But I think with time, you don't. I keep saying, if you want to change and do God's work 247, you don't say it today. Because that's fake, and God doesn't even like that.
It's a process, I think.
But I think for Him knowing that you've noticed it and you want to work on it, because I think He has done it in a way to an extent. Like first, I had no filter. Like if you listen to Sarkodie from way back, I was so raw.
I recall you were fast and you would say
so
anything.
Raw, like anything. But now it's so hard for me to even pronounce. Like He made me kind of shy to even say certain things. Like now, things I used to say when I see the upcomer saying it, I'm like, nah, you shouldn't say that. But I used to say that some time ago. So I think with time, I'm being more matured and knowing how to approach certain things and how to say it. So it's helping, and I hope with time I can move away from it. It's just gradual process, you know. But bottom line is just your heart. You know, it has to do with your heart.
Absolutely. I can't imagine what is next for you. You've conquered. Practically, I think you've conquered the world. You're an international artist. I don't think there are many people who don't know you, unless they live in a place with no technology, nothing, absolutely nothing. But what will you be doing next? What will you be doing to shock your fans? When will you release another album, or will you be having like hundreds of kids? What could you possibly do next?
I don't know.
You don't know yourself?
Because I never know. You know, my team, I have a strong team, but okay, I'm not supposed to put out our strategy.
Okay.
But our strategy is not necessarily a strategy that we kind of sit down and say, this is what we want to do. You know, which actually helps, you know, because we are working 247. So it's definitely going to change. Like when you're consistent on something, you know, if you're pursuing something like every morning, you're going to gain some results from it. And that's what I do. I just keep working every day. And I shock myself when I do certain things because I don't plan for it. You know, Mary just came in my mind. We're in a hotel and I just thought about it. I just released a song like I think yesterday or 2 days ago. It was just that early morning. My team didn't even know about it. I just dropped the song.
Are you serious?
You know? Yeah, so that's a typical Sarkodie. I'm super random.
Okay.
And I like this interview because you're taking questions from different corners. I like it. I'm a very random person.
Thank you.
So
I love being random.
When you want to talk about what I'm going to do, what's next for Sarkodie, I will never be specific, you know, but then I can shock you like in the next week. My next stage can be tomorrow, you know.
You're kind of like a cliffhanger. You leave people wanting more, and that's very unique. It's the best thing about you. One of the best things, of course.
Thank you.
Now, Sark, I want to say it's been an absolute pleasure.
Same.
Hosting you.
Same.
And on the journey, we always want to bless our guests with gifts. Okay. I know you could probably buy like anything you want, but I just want to give you this to say thank you for your time. It's from us and it's from your fans as well. Just to say thank you. Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Thank you for creating such amazing music. Thank you for traveling all over the world. Yeah, it's just something for you. Ready for the part of the box and everything.
So anybody that comes on gets a gift. So if I come again, I'll get another one.
Why not?
Okay.
Why not?
Definitely.
It's just that we don't know exactly what you like, so we buy you whatever we think we can give you. Yeah.
That's dope.
So that's for you. And once again, thank you.
Definitely gonna smell good.
You already smell great. I'm not saying you smell bad, but you know, this is just your gift. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you.
Mamba me homa de nkurano abrabo ni de metwa mu 80 matoton sa sisi adan yo mabobra nti aka me 20 na aka ne de hand to mouth